Growing up in Richmond, we certainly had our racial tensions, particularly against white kids.
The students from North Richmond were having a lot of problems in terms of black-white relationships at Richmond High, in which we were trying to intervene.
Back then, it was in a time of de facto segregation, and teachers would give you negative grades even though you were better than other people in class. The teaching system back then, as I got older, I was able to read into where I saw problems.
In terms of attending Richmond High and my whole educational experience, I wouldn't say that I received the motivation from instructors or counselors that I should have received. In fact, I feel that in many cases it was a lot of discouragement in terms of any interaction with teachers or words of encouragement from any of them.
Unless you were 100 times better than anybody else, you were never going to be able to get straight A's.
I've had direct experiences where I was discouraged from going on or taking certain classes. So these type of situations do occur, and that's one of the problems in our educational system right now, where people don't get the necessary encouragement that they should.
I was certainly a studious person, but they took your personality and expected you to be molded in a particular way. I was, a jovial kind of a kid, had fun. I participated in a lot of classes, but, that internal racism was there. And that's what I mean when I talk about de facto segregation. And I certainly had a pretty high GPA and should have been able to go to Berkeley when I first applied. That was really hard for me.
A lot of people that lived in Richmond area, San Pablo in particular, they were what some people categorize as poor whites from the South. And they brought that same hatred and that racism to the West Coast for us. When we used to come home from school, we had to walk, because we didn't have no buses coming out here. So we had to walk to school and from school. And I can vividly remember walking past white people's houses, and kids would come out and they would taunt us. And so oftentimes we would get into fights with white kids just because of the racial thing. It wasn't like we just wanted to jump on them, but we wasn't going to tolerate them calling us names, particularly out of our name.
The students from North Richmond had grievances with the school, and they were severe enough that they organized a boycott of Richmond Union High. I remember I'd get telephone calls wanting me to speak on TV, commercial TV, and I refused to do so because I said this was a student project, it was their project, and I said, no way. If you want to interview someone, here are the people who are involved in that school. Go and talk with them. They're the ones who are doing it.
All throughout high school in this area, I had to deal with the racial issue. Now, I had Hispanic or Latino partners. I had a couple of white partners. But the largest student body, there was always that tension. That was just the reality of growing up in this community. You had to deal with it.